Welcome back. Are you all set? You got your water, got your art materials, whatever you're going to use. And you know what? You don't even have to have those really ready. All you have to do is just sit down, relax, and then enjoy learning something new. Although it's really interesting, you're going to find out that you've seen these patterns before, but you might not have known that it had a name and a reason why it's there. Okay, so let's begin. And just like in any of Ms. Valerie's art classes, we always start with our breathing and our stretching exercises. And we do that because it's really important for us to come home and to be comfortable inside of ourselves so that we can connect to the creative part of our brains and our artist. I call it my mind movies, but whatever you want to call it, you can. Okay, let's get started. Remember that this is a 3-5 ratio. In 3, out 5. Great, here we go. Nice deep exhale. In 3, out 5. In 3, out 5. In 3, out 5. One last time. In 3, out 5. Good. Okay, now our shoulders. Round forward. 1, 2, 3. Now backwards. 1, 2, 3. Rollies forwards. 1, 2, 3. Backwards. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now we're going to do our neck nice and gentle. Don't force anything. Just let the weight of your head pull your neck over. Ear to your shoulder. You don't have to touch. Look way up. Ear to your shoulder. Look way down. Go back around now. Ear to your shoulder. Look way up. Ear to your shoulder. Look way down. Good. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to stretch our arms out. Face your hands towards each other. And then we're going to twist around and clasp. Bring it under. Pull it close to your heart. Take a nice deep breath. Welcome home. Let's get started with art. I showed you this a big flower. I found this, I think, at Joann Fabrics or something. It may have been a garage sale. I don't know. But I loved them. And so I bought all of them. The people probably thought I was crazy. But I don't care because they're perfect. Yes, this is a flower. Yes, it's a sunflower. But it's also 2 patterns from nature. And there are actually 9. And we're going to learn 5. Lots of numbers. But here we go. The one in the middle starts a little circle. So it's a dark yellow, then a light yellow, then a dark yellow, and then the petals, that's radial pattern, echo, echo. The petals right here, they're starting in the middle and they're going out in all the directions. That's called explosive pattern. Can I show you? Okay, so I'm going to set my flower down for a minute. You stay right there for me? Thank you. All right, look here. You see it? Starts in the middle and then goes out. That's called the explosive pattern. There you go. Can you think of other things other than the flower? Yep. How about the sun? Sun does the explosive pattern. Starts in the middle and then goes out in all the directions. That's important. Stars do it in the sky. Explosions do it. Yep. Explosive pattern. Yep. Sure is. And here's some, my friends. A couple years ago, these are their artworks that they did. I challenged them to do 3 different ways. Doing a single explosive pattern in the middle, The next one, I asked them to do several, like if it was the finale of a fireworks. And then the next one, I gave them really unusual shapes of paper and said, give me a slice of that explosive pattern. So I think they did really nice. Some warm to cool colors, very nice. Some long lines, short lines, cool lines, warm lines. Actually, even if you could see a little better, you'll see some shapes in there too. And there's our elements. Lines, shapes. What's the last one? Colors, right. Very good. Okay, here's our second one. So the first one, explosive pattern, starts in the middle, goes out in all directions. Second one starts in the middle too. This one's the radial pattern. This one starts in the middle, but it doesn't just go out like the explosive pattern. It echoes out. Have you ever thrown a rock in the water? Okay, first it's going to be the explosive pattern. Always the explosive pattern first. Then what comes out? Echo, echo, echo. The radial pattern. Now, when you do that with the rock, you're going to see a circle. Doesn't always have to be a circle. Here's the one with the circle. Here's a triangle, square. And you can even have one that's got a combo meal. That's where you got more than one shape going on there. But isn't this lovely? The rings of the tree. Bats use this for echo. This is like sonar, if you could see sound. Ooh, I like that. See sound. Ooh, I think we might do an art project. Draw me a sea sound, boys and girls. And of course, it would be a sea sound because that would be in the sea because it would be the whales. I love it. Another time, Miss Valerie. Stay focused. All right. The next pattern, this one also starts in the middle. So we have explosive pattern, starts in the middle and then goes out. Radial pattern starts in the middle, but that echoes out. The last one that starts in the middle starts in the middle, but it walks around itself. Walks around, walks around, walks around. You know this one. I saw it in my drum. Starts in the middle, walks around, walks around, walks around, walks around, walks around itself. Spiral pattern. Yep, sure is. And I love it because you guys know that we'll use this later on. So here's some other places you might see this spiral pattern. Of course, if you ever heard of a hurricane or a tornado, that's a big time spiral pattern. Also, but you might want to see a small one in your bathtub. Let the plug out. Flush the toilet. Bye-bye. We're glad we've got spiral patterns. So seashells, of course, that's the first place we think of when we think of spirals. But of course, animals use them on their horns. This animal down here is using the spiral to curl up his long tail. Good idea. You don't want that tail dangling down for somebody to grab onto it and have you for dinner. So spiral it up and be careful. How about the butterfly? The butterfly and the moth, their tongue, the proboscis, spiral like a straw, like one of those crazy straws. Spirals up when they're not using it. Spiral out. Oh, and the hummingbird, they've got that kind of tongue too. Yep, they go in and out. Anywho, I want to show you this person made a blanket design using the spiral patterns of the, I love it, took it right from the plant and went right into the explosive pattern of the sun. Celebrating my grandfather Charlie when he came to show us how to create the stick from the black ash tree to make black ash basket weaving. That was awesome. All right, our next pattern is the first one that does not start in the middle. It's called meander. Now, meander is called the path of least resistance. It means that if you're a river and you have to get to the ocean, that's your job, you're going to meander around anything that gets in your way. So if there's a big rock, you're not just going to stop and say, oh, poor me, I can't get to where I want to go. Heck no. You're going to meander either to the right, to the left, over or under that thing that's in your way to move along. Great life lesson. Don't let a bully get in your way. Use your brain, follow your heart, move around that obstacle. You're smarter than that person that has to use being a bully to get what they want. Trust me. Okay, so here's some examples of where you might see the meander pattern. Sometimes trees make really organic or gnarly dude trees. Look at that in the sand. The wind will make meander, but the water makes it too. If you ever look on the beaches when the water comes up, makes those waves and then goes back, you'll see a line on the sand. It's very cool. You can draw pictures from them. It's cool. But you know what? Not just on Earth, these patterns. Here we are. You know what? Which one that is, right? You know, right? I hope you do. Jupiter. And here we are. Oh, did I call it Jupiter? Good, because it is. Oh, geez, Miss Valerie. So yeah, so there's always storms going on in Jupiter. So you're seeing their clouds, and it's all full of. It's not nice like ours. These are full of sulfur and really natty stuff. Um, but anywho, so this is Meander, and here's a couple artworks that my kids have done in the past to do Meander. First, of course, if you think about animals that use Meander to get around, it's called locomotion. Of course, the snake. Yep. In the water, fish. Yep. All the different kind of, oh, the jellyfish use it. Yes, they sure do. Except for if you think about the mammals that live in the water, they don't meander right to left. They meander up and down. And if you think about it, that makes so much sense because they have to be able to break the surface of the water to breathe, to take a gulp of air before they dive back down. So their meander to live is up and down, where snakes and all the other creatures, crocodiles, fish, they all use meanders left to right to get themselves and stay in the water when they want to. So there's meander. Okay, the last one, it seems a little complicated. Calm down. Take a breath. Do a 3-5. Good. I was getting worked up. Oh, by the way, don't you love my shirt? I love my dog. It says dog is love. And I saw all the patterns. I saw explosive pattern, spiral pattern, meander pattern, radial pattern. Look in his eyes. Look in your friend's eyes. You're going to see these patterns everywhere. Okay, the last one is the branching pattern. And here's some examples. Whenever nature wants to take something from one place, the main source, to lots of places, it uses the branching pattern. Your body has it in your veining system, goes from your heart, and it wants to go all over your whole body, right down to your little baby piggy toe, to give it the nutrients, the water, and the food that are carried, the nutrition, through the blood, and then it gives it the oxygen, and then takes the carbon dioxide, and it brings it back to the heart so it can be expelled through the lungs. Amazing. Our bodies are incredible machines. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, so the first time we always think the branching pattern, we always think of trees, of course, because we call them branching patterns. But rivers have branching patterns. Our veins have branching patterns. Lightning has branching pattern. Oh, this is a very cool one. That's a picture of a dinosaur egg. And in the fossil, they were able to see the actual veining system of the placenta. And that's where the baby, before it's born, is taking the nutrients as it's growing inside either the egg or inside the mother's body. Anyhow, so it looks complicated, and it is, but it isn't. So let me show you a trick so that your artist eyes can see it in a new way instead of seeing all of those branches. First, here's a couple kids' artwork. They saw that the shapes were different depending on the kind of branches used. I thought that was sort of interesting. They thought that. And this one was watercolor underneath, meandering of the clouds, and then branching pattern made out of tissue paper. I had brown tissue paper, and we paper mache'd. Got paper mache? Great. Not, take some Elmer's glue, mix a little water in it. There you go. You've got paper mache. But you know what this letter is, right? What is that? Why? Why? Why am I asking you that? Oh, no, right, it is Y. Yes, it's capital Y. Can you make a capital Y? Starts as 1, then goes 2? I know you can. If you can't, practice a little bit, and I promise you by the end of the week you'll be able to do it. That's the branching pattern. Starts as 1, then goes 2. Why? Because that's what it does. Starts as 1,